Hey guys, it's Nick here. Today I'm going to show you how to etch your initials into a knife blade. If you're going to be using my method here, these are the materials you're going to want. You will need a knife blade, some type of regular vinegar, salt, Q-tips, a battery charger for a car battery, fingernail polish, and some toothpicks. So get some sort of small container, and there's no exact measurement for this, but I'm just putting some vinegar into this little cup here. Oops, spilled some. And I'm going to sprinkle some salt in there. And then stir this with a Q-tip. And we'll just let that salt dissolve into there. Set that aside for a minute. Okay. Now, I have already cleaned this blade with alcohol, and I've scrubbed it and everything. And this is just a blade that I'm working on. I have not put a handle on it yet. I've heat treated it and tempered it, and I wanted to get my initials on there before I did my final cleaning and polish on the blade. So I've already marked out where my handle is going to be. You may be doing this on a knife that's already completed or a knife you got at the store. So just pick a side that you want your initials to go on. And then what I'm going to do, because I don't have a stencil, is I'm going to kind of make a makeshift stencil with some fingernail polish. So I'm going to just brush a little layer on here where I know I want my initials to go. Okay. And sort of let that dry for a little bit, like maybe 30 seconds. And then what I'm going to do is take this little toothpick and I'm going to scratch my initials into the fingernail polish. Okay, so I got my initials in there, and I always do a little skull next to my initials. See if I can get this to focus. There we go. And I'm going to let this dry. Okay, so we've given this fingernail polish some time to dry here. So I've plugged in my battery charger. I've got it set at 12 volts and a 6 amp large battery. And I've etched with all the different settings on here, many different combinations. They all work about the same, but on 12 volts it seems to work a little faster, so that's what I'm going to be doing. So take your battery charger, plug it in, and then clamp your red part of the battery charger onto your knife blade. Take your black one and clamp it to your Q-tip that you've been soaking in your vinegar and salt solution. I'm going to zoom in here so you can get a better idea of what's happening. Okay. So I've got my red clamp hooked up to the knife blade here, and my black clamp with a Q-tip clipped in it. And you just want to touch this Q-tip to your little makeshift stencil here, and it will eat away anything that is showing, anything that is exposed. So be careful not to do it all around on these other parts of your knife blade. But you just want to hold it down, and it takes a while for the battery charger to kick on, but you will see bubbles start to form, and I was kind of shorting it out there. You saw a couple sparks. Be careful not to do that. And just go slowly across your little stencil here and keep holding it. and it will turn the metal black as it does this. The longer you hold this on here, the deeper the etch will be. You want to do each one evenly so that the etch is even across your whole initials here. Okay, you want to hold that etch with the Q-tip and everything on there for at least 30 seconds to a minute in order for it to be deep enough to stay and look good. And then once you're done with that, take some fingernail polish remover or some rubbing alcohol and get rid of that fingernail polish on your knife blade. Okay, once you're done removing the fingernail polish remover, you can see how deep my etch went. And I got my initials in there with my little skull that I put on all my knives. If you think your initials aren't showing up well enough, you can always take a Sharpie and fill them in like this. And then take some kind of abrasive. I'm going to use a Scotch pad and clean off the surface. And then your initials should be a little darker in there. But anyway, that's how I etch my initials into my knife blades. It works pretty well. I don't have any professional etcher or anything like that. And I hope you enjoyed this and learned from it. Thanks.